Now today we are going to talk about how to do vibrato. Okay, vibrato, yes, I have some exercises. This is how I learned it, and so I'm just going to share with you how I learned the vibrato. First of all, one thing you got to remember is that unlike the violin or viola, the vibrato motion is different on the cello. It comes mostly from the arm motion of going up and down, except that is in tiny motion, tiny. So I am going to teach you some exercises that you can start practicing just to get you comfortable. Now, it does take time to develop these skills, so be patient. It can take a little while, so just get used to it and get comfortable. All right, here we go. As I was mentioning, vibrato really comes from this motion, except that it gets smaller and smaller. So everybody, if you have your cello in front of you, if you don't, go get your cello right now and do with me like this. Okay, so you're just shifting up and down, 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 up and down. And now it gets smaller and smaller. And just use maybe your first and second finger, okay? Until it gets really small. It's almost like you're cleaning the fingerboard or the side of the string. And then you're just cleaning just this little part like that. Leave your thumb behind for now, just so that you get used to it. So this is the basic motion of it, okay? So now, I think the other thing that is difficult for people is coordinating. So this is what I do. Throw a cloth, put it on top of your strings, turn your bow around so that you can bow without hurting the what do you call it, the stick. So turn around and hold the bow so that you're bowing, and practice this. And make sure it gets smaller and smaller until you get to one little spot, and then just clean that little tiny spot right there. All right? So that's a really good exercise. And when you're ready, what you do, take that off, play. That sounds really funny. Just play between two notes. So don't just play on one note. Try to play between, let's say, here's E and F. So just end up between E and F. Any speed. You don't have to be super fast, but just, like a normal speed. So you're just shifting between E and F with one finger. Okay, start really big. Let's go. T and C sharp now. Right here. Are you doing it with me? Okay, let's do it one more time. Ready? Go. Well, actually, I shouldn't go here when I'm trying to vibrate here. So I'll just go here, okay? C and D sharp. D and C sharp. That's what I'm doing. Keep your thumb in the back, out of it for now. Okay, now we're gonna do it again, and this time we're just gonna land on D on the second finger. Same deal, but we might do a little bit of C sharp and D action, but land on D this time. Ready? Alright, so this is a process, like I said, so give yourself time, be patient, practice, try different notes, try different strings. You can even try C string. So funny sounding. Just choose a note that you want to land on, or two notes. And maybe get faster when you get more comfortable between those two notes. And then eventually you land on the one note. So when you're comfortable, do that on one note. And try to add the thumb back. Now, the thumb needs to be completely relaxed. So you're not holding the thumb, because if you're holding it, it doesn't allow for the flexibility for you to vibrate, right? For you to move. So thumb, think of it as just there, like not pressing on anything. Just behind, just kind of like, it's just supporting. That's all you're doing. So now try this without the bow for a while. Also try it without a bow, right? That's important. And then try to speed up the vibrato a little bit. That's the basic motion. And then you have your beautiful vibrato. After a while, and then you can play the second movement of Dvorak. After you've mastered your vibrato is learning to vibrate continuously between notes. So how do you practice that? Without the bow again. So just play, like, let's say a scale, or even just a few notes on the A string. Let's say first finger to second finger, and as you are moving from one finger to the next one, it's like as if this has nothing to do with this. It's like you're always doing that. So actually try that for a second. You're always moving your arms. This is like a really exaggerated version of what's happening. But you're doing this, but your fingers are doing whatever they do. So you could be pressing first finger, third finger, fourth finger. You're always moving this way. So like this. So practice it like that. Again, thumb very light in the back. You see what I'm doing? So then you make sure the vibrato is continuous. Level 2 stuff. So here again, Dvorak is a good example. You don't stop the vibrato even though you're changing notes, right? So let's say it takes practice. Actually, what you should do also is practice scales with continuous vibrato. Oh, whoa. What's happening? So like this. E major scales. My arm is always moving. It doesn't matter what happens. Always moving. Practice it every day. Can't talk and play at the same time. But you get the idea, right? So that's level 2 stuff, continuous vibrato. Level 3 stuff is to vary your vibrato. Okay, so it really depends on what piece you're playing. Because you don't want to play Dvorak even. You don't want to have the same exact speed every note, right? That's really boring. So you want to vary it. Depending on how it goes. So end of phrase, I vibrate skinnier, narrow is what I mean. So sometimes you want to widen the vibrato, which means what? You rotate your arm a little bit more, and then when you want to narrow your vibrato for it to be more focused sounding. So this is like a wide vibrato, right? I'm just going to exaggerate a lot for you. That's a very wide vibrato, Dvorak. So this is narrow. So you don't move as much. So you have to really think about the piece of music, what you're trying to express, whether it's the beginning of the phrase, the ending of the phrase, or whether it's the most expressive part of the phrase. And this is where you use your vibrato to be expressive, to kind of convey your emotions, right? So that's level 3 stuff. And the last thing I'm going to say is that the reason why there's vibrato is really we're trying to imitate the human voice, right? Because if we did it without vibrato, again, the Dvorak, it sounds very flat. Why does it sound flat? Because human voice naturally has la, right? So really, when you're playing the cello, you have to think about how to imitate the voice. How would you sing it? So a lot of times, like I've been taught growing up, when you're learning a piece of music or you're interpreting a piece of music, you sing it through because you want to know how you really want to express that piece. So here, let's see. So here, as I end the phrase, I make it narrow, the vibrato. That's how I make it expressive, right? As I crescendo, I vibrate a little faster. Now, I'm not really thinking like consciously like that, but if I break it down, that's what's happening. When you have these vibrato skills naturally, then you'll start making these decisions after you practiced it, but you need to have all the tools. You need to know how to do wide vibrato. You need to know how to do narrow vibrato. You know how to speed up your vibrato or slow down your vibrato. You know how to, like certain phrases, you know, continuous vibrato. You need, like, when you want to sustain a phrase, you want to do continuous vibrato. And there's sometimes you might choose not to vibrate at all for an effect. But whatever you do, it's like you have to do it with intention. You're not vibrating that note. It's not because your pinky is too lazy. Sometimes that happens with cellists, me included. Sometimes I forget to vibrate on the pinky. But you have to make conscious efforts, conscious decisions and intentions on how you want to express a piece of music. So I hope this is helpful in terms of how to vibrate, and let me know what you think. Give me a thumbs up if you found this helpful, as this really helps me out with the algorithm and more people will likely see this video and it will be helpful to them. And of course, if you want to support my work, you can become a patron on my Patreon. You can support as little as $1 to $3 to all the way to 100, whatever you like. And that would mean a great deal to me if you would support this channel. And also you can support my work by purchasing my album, my visual album, which you can see for free, the visual album. But if you're interested in the album itself, is on my website, wendylaw.com. It's a love story. It's called Passion Latin music, Spanish music. It's really, really, I think, really fantastic. So thank you again, and I will see you next time. Bye!